dressed. Had to go to the bathroom. What this is, so if you just got here, I'm using an old computer, I don't know, 8 years old or whatever it is, to do this computer program, which shall remain nameless unless somebody wants to give me a hand financially, if you wouldn't mind. I tend to not, I tend to not, you know, why should I plug somebody else? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so, I got bills too, you know. Okay, so I'm working with this program, and it's a very good program. And 8-year-old computer, 20-year-old keyboard, still works, including floppy drive. And trying to make a little bit more progress than I did yesterday. So let's see what I get here. Half speed,
One,
no less.
two, set, go.
Repeats. Oops. Third time. You gotta be fast. 93. So that's not the best I've done in this program, I don't think. But like I said, this is the third time I've gone through this song today. 93. Well, 93 might be my best score so far. Okay. So essentially, I keep doing that. We're at 50 BPM now, beats per minute. And ideally, we want to get to 71. And then from there, I try to go through all these little pieces of the song at 100% at full speed. And so far, so far we've had better days, but that's okay because, as I explained, if you had watched a little earlier, you get this curve. So right now it's in the morning, and we haven't played in a while, since yesterday, and the curve goes up, and then it stops, does one of these, and that's, you're not going to get any better. And then you get frustrated because you try to do something you haven't done before, or speed up a little bit, and then you get this again. So it does that. Does it all the time. So, this is where I try to explain to people that, it's not going to be, there is no natural talent. I'm sorry, that's a bunch of bull. Sorry, it doesn't exist. As I explained earlier, and I'll recap just briefly, this program tells me I have done, I think I'm over 40-something hours here, so let's see. 42 hours, 45 minutes, and 25 seconds. And mind you, I was playing keyboards for my own band at one point, because my band said, I was doing lead vocals, and I had founded the band, and they said, well, you're not doing anything else, so, why not make me the keyboard player, right? No. So I did that for a while, and I got through what songs did I get through? Don't Stop Believing, and Separate Ways, and what else did I do? I did I'm Crying. It's an old Journey song, because it was a Journey tribute band. Still is a Journey tribute band. So, and you have no idea how long it took me to do that. So if you're under the impression that you just sit down here and it's very easy, you're wrong. If you want a quote-unquote easy instrument, try the drums, because I've got those too. So, as you can see, there they are. The drums are there. So, yeah, I'm told by my former drum coach, Dr. Steve Blank, that I'm a natural drummer. I had to really work at that voice. I really worked at it. I worked at it for, what, 25 years? Yeah. So I'm not a spring chicken if you don't, truth be told. And I worked at piano for a while, and my problem or my habit is I don't stick with it. So if you stick with it a little bit on a consistent basis every day, you get a lot better. And then you can start working and, work at Whole Foods or Potbellies or whatever and, make some decent money playing music for people. But not if you don't do it every day. If you don't do it every day, your skill level comes down, and you can pretty much go into the basement if you're not careful, especially if you want to sing, because that's your body, right? So I could break a finger and still play the drums or still play the piano, but if I hurt my voice or I'm sick or something, I can't sing. It's not going to happen. So let's try this again, and this is level. I think we're on level 14, right? And again, we're only doing, 50 BPM. So I keep trying, and then when I get that where it should be, then I move on to the next. It should be at 100%, and then I should be able to do it at full speed at 100%. And until I can do that, I just keep doing this, and, for whatever that's worth. So I'm going to keep trying.
1, 2.
I don't know the fingering, I'm
Set.
guessing.
Go.
Correct fingering. Repeats. Having a banner day today. And that wasn't as good as my last time either. 88. So yeah, sometimes it's better to just bash through it the way that it is, when it comes through, and you just make your mistakes and try to pick up, because I can assure you live, you're not gonna get to go back to the beginning. Well, you can. I mean, I've seen people do it. I saw Danny Seraphin, so he was the drummer for Chicago. In fact, he's a founding member, so, if you've ever seen The Rocker with Rainn Wilson, that's pretty much a true story, as I understand it. And so he comes to these drum clinics, so that's essentially some drum shop fostering, I guess you'd call it, or hosting, that's the word I was looking for. Hosting a major drummer of some kind, or some guy that's been on some record that regardless of whether you like the song or not. And so he comes in and he plays his song minus the drum tracks, and he plays the drum tracks to the song, to the original song. So Danny Seraphin was doing that, and he, made some sort of mistake. So if you're at a drum clinic with a room full of people who play drums, your best bet is to basically say, well, I made a mistake, and I could have done that better, and I'm going to start over. Which, of course, you could do. You can't really do that in a live show. You make a mistake, that's it. You just have to keep moving on. So it's always nice to have that ability in two different ways of doing things, for whatever that's worth. Go out and jam with other people. That's one of the things that I like to do, because they're never going to throw anything at you that you know. They're going to throw stuff at you that you vaguely heard 30 years ago. That's been my experience. So I just keep trying with this, and it's a very adept program. Like I said, I'm not shilling for anybody, so I don't announce other people's products for them. In fact, they still owe me about 10 songs. They owe me 10 songs for my lifetime membership for Black Friday, and they owe me 5 songs from last month, and they owe me 5 songs for this month. I've gotten discounted songs, but I didn't get them free, so they owe me some songs. Or some credits or something. So we're having a discussion. I think I sent them an email about that, because It's like, well, I didn't get a code for this. I didn't get my songs. Because I bought a lifetime membership, I got a really good deal for Black Friday. So, if this is something you're considering doing, wait till Black Friday. That's the best deal you're gonna get all year that I saw. Let's see here. So I keep trying this, and again, I'm not Liberace, but you bang away at it, the 100 monkeys banging away at 100 typewriters long enough, and eventually you'll get Shakespeare, and that's where I'm at with this.
1, 2, set, go.
Reading the clefs backwards. Terrible. 91. Okay, well, so my best score is still, I think it's 93 on this one. Like I said, I try to go 100% on all of them at full speed. 93. Okay, so I'm close with, what did I get on this one? 91, I think I just said. So yeah, this is what I do all day. That's not what I do all day. I take out people's dogs, and then I come back here and do some more of this. So for whatever that's worth, because I guess the time per hour, live, if I were playing live, and I basically said, and I have said, God knows, well, if you want me to play with your DJ self, then guess what? It's going to cost $175 to put the drums in the car and drive over there and put them all out and set them all up and then put them all back in the car and drive them back here and take them all back out of the car. And I haven't even done anything yet at that point because it's a lot of work moving all that into the car over to Naperville or whatever to play with somebody. But depending on the circumstances, it could be relatively easy, disco or funk or whatever, which requires a feel. It doesn't really require, so what I'm looking for. Not necessarily a whole lot of chops, right? The skills, all this crazy, double bass stuff, you don't need a lot of that. You basically need to keep the girls dancing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you can make that sound cool as opposed to sounding dead, which it can sound if you're not, you don't have a good pocket, right? If you make that sound like it's cool, then the girls dance and then you get paid and then you get asked back, see, right? So it doesn't, what I'm saying is drums don't necessarily have to be complicated, and a lot of times they're not. Well, keyboards, on the other hand, they tend to have a little bit more of a higher degree of difficulty. So for me, I had to work with my voice a long time. I had to, my speaking voice doesn't sound like I can sing, but you have to take my word on it. You make me weep, oh, I wanna die just when you said we'd try loving, touching, squeezing each other. So yeah, I can sing, and that's cold. I just woke up. I haven't had any time to warm up. Warming up is important, which is essentially what I'm doing here, and hopefully somebody cares enough to watch it. And I do this, and then I do it again, and then I'll probably, what time is it? 7:23, so I gotta go pick up somebody's dog, and in fact, Robert will be here shortly. And I think that's it until a couple hours later. So hopefully, I did or said something useful, but, you don't wake up with natural talent. Natural talent, my ass. I'm sorry. This is sitting here being bored for hours a day. The professional piano players, which I'm not, they sit here for something like 8 hours a day playing piano going, Well, yeah, it's boring, and you gotta study the fingering, and then change the keys, and do it again, and then do 2 octaves. And make sure you land on the thumb and the pinky when you're supposed to, and because if you don't, that means you did it wrong. So yeah, it looks easy when people are doing it that have been doing it for 25 years, and then you're the person that sits there, so it's not easy. You have to put some time into it, but a little bit of time every day, and you can get really good, especially if you're a kid. So if you're a kid, I'm gonna tell you this: if you're like teenager or younger, be smart, stick with it. 10 minutes, 15 minutes here and there. You can be really good by the time you're my age, which would be 1,000 years from now. But it's like you wake up one day and then you're old. That's kind of what happens, just for the record. So anyways, till next time.